Hello and welcome to a video on synchronicities. So this is going to be about the synchronicity phase of awakening. Oftentimes this can be the first stage, but it's something, like I've talked about in the intro video, it's something that it's not just like, you see synchronicities and then you don't. This is something that once you start to see synchronicities, it's something that's pretty congruent, probably like for the rest of your life. Um, and it comes and goes. So we're going to deep dive into that. Before we do that, my name is Devon. I help people on their spiritual awakening journey, and I also help with divine embodiment. Okay, so the synchronicity phase, I do have another video, I'll link it below, where I go more into different types of synchronicities. This is more looking at it as a kind of a phase of awakening. And so, like I said, this can be the first real phase. So this can be waking up at 3 in the morning. This can be seeing 11:11. This can be recognizing that a bird keeps appearing. And then you're like, there's something more to this bird that just keeps showing up, and then maybe you feel guided to look up the symbolism of that bird and it carries a message. This can be, I mean, there's synchronicities, and it's different symbols. Oftentimes, it'll be in the form of literal symbols. It's in the form of animal synchronicities. It's in the form of hearing something multiple times, like overhearing a part of a conversation, and then later you hear the same kind of thing in like a video or something like that, and it just continuously gets your attention. Like hearing a word, and then you're like, what is that? I keep hearing that word. What does that mean? um what the purpose of this is to get your attention, especially at the beginning of the spiritual awakening. It's to get your attention. And it can also be signs, like throughout the awakening, especially, it's signs that like you're on the right path, your spirit team is with you, so on and so forth. Oh yeah, it can be rainbows. It can also be thinking of somebody and then they contact you. That's a very, very common one as well. Hearing different songs over and over that carry a message. Um, it can be somebody telling you something exactly what you need to hear in that moment. And so that can also be a synchronicity. Um, an example that just came to mind is I make jewelry, and I was debating on whether I should sell my jewelry or not. And all of a sudden, I made this pair of earrings, and everywhere I went, people were telling me, I really like your earrings. Where did you get those? Where did you get those? Where did you get those? I was like, I made them. And they're like, do you sell them? Would you make me a pair? And that was the universe saying, yeah, you should, maybe look into selling your earrings. That would be in alignment with you at this time. Um, it can also be prophetic dreams, or just dreams that carry a deeper meaning. Um, and I'll do a totally different video on dreams because that's a whole other topic. Because we have different types of dreams and things like that. But this is really having those dreams that are carrying a message, or if you're questioning something and then something happens in a dream that provides you some guidance. That can be a synchronicity. So yeah, it's basically becoming aware of how spirit, the universe, God, whatever you term it, whatever you work with, it's spirit giving you messages in a way that's nudging you, your higher self, whatever resonates with you. It's giving you some messages to say, hey, pay attention. Hey, look into this. Hey, research that. And this really does kind of mark the beginning of an awakening. It can, anyways. And then, like I said, this is also something, it comes and goes. And so just understand that as well. Sometimes you'll have synchronicities every day, all day long, for weeks on end, months on end, and then all of a sudden they get quiet. And there's a reason for that. So I'll just get into it now. When you're on the awakening journey and you have all of these synchronicities happening and then they slow down, that's your sign to go within more and to trust your intuition, to trust your guidance. When the synchronicities slow down, it's not that you're like on the wrong path or anything of that nature. Most of the time what it is you kind of leveled up, and now it's time to trust yourself. And then so those synchronicities can get quiet for a little bit, and then they'll pick back up out of nowhere. And all of a sudden you're like, I'm seeing repeating numbers all the time again. I'm hearing these things all the time again. And so that's part of this as well, is to understand that the spiritual awakening journey, it really is a journey. It will come back around. And so a lot of these phases that I'm talking about in this video series, these phases do come back around, and it's different each time a little bit, but it'll have a very similar energy. So, and I'll talk more about that in some of the other videos as well. So just know that if, especially if you've already had a bunch of synchronicities and then they're slowing down, it's a time and an opportunity to really go within and to trust yourself, trust your intuition, and trust this new level that you're at. So just know that. Because sometimes it can be a little confusing when you get used to seeing synchronicities all the time and you're like, oh yeah, I know I'm on the right path if I see this. I know I'm on the right path if I see that. And the thing is the spiritual awakening journey is really teaching us how to go within and find that inner guidance. And so synchronicities are still technically a form of external approval in some way. And so it's like, I need to see these external synchronicities to confirm that I'm on the right path. And it's a good guidance system, and it's also one of those you don't need to rely on it either. And so you can ask for synchronicities, you can ask for signs and all of that. And most of the time you'll get them. If you're not, though, don't stress about it. Don't worry about it. There's nothing wrong. You're not on the wrong path. It's just a sign to go within and allow your own intuition and your own confidence, I guess would be a good way to term it, on this journey. So, okay. Well, with that, that's all I've got for synchronicities. So if you have some other experiences with synchronicities, if I missed some, which I know I did, definitely let us know in the comments below. And I will see you on the next one.